So yesterday this video went viral online, and it's a video from Wembley from Man City celebrating their first goal in the FA Cup semi-final against Sheffield United. Let's watch the clip. Now, of course, this gets the feedback that you would typically expect with really any video to do with Man City. I've seen more excitement at the funeral. There's more filming the celebrations than celebrating. This is why no one cares about what Man City achieve. Can't buy true fans. Manchester City and the fan base is something that is spoken about way too often online. Wait till Man City find out that not one person respects whatever they do. They go on to win 59 league titles, and yet everyone would want them to win the 60th too. This is the mentality that I see quite a lot online. The mentality of, oh, no one cares about Man City, why would we care about Man City, but yet at the same time complaining on a weekly basis about how much they not care about Man City, while claiming they don't care while caring. That is why my title is Man City, the world's biggest small club. Because despite no matter how much they do, how much they win, and how much success they have, people will still have this belief that they are still a small club. And despite no matter how much success they actually gain, people would still not care and believe that their success is not on the same level as if Arsenal, United, or Liverpool did it. Tell me your thoughts down below in the comments about what do you think about Man City. Are they a normal fan base who have been lucky to be bought out and are being taken on a journey and are reacting in a way that you would typically expect, or are they a tin pot fan base with not enough fans, empty-headed, who cannot fill out the stadium and do not deserve their success? Tell me your thoughts down below. Let's go and hit 3,000 likes. Your support has been incredible. Thank you so much, and also subscribe if you are new. 77% of you guys in my recent videos have not been subscribed to the channel, so please help me out and let's try to hit 350,000 subscribers in the next month. Big shout out as well, of course, to the patrons of the channel. These absolute heroes help support what we do here and can help me do what I do to the best of my ability. So thank you to every single person on screen right now, and also thank you for support on my own design company, mazzoladesigns.co.uk. Your support has been amazing. Over 100 orders. Everything is run by me, from the website to the designs itself, so thank you so much. It means the world, and make sure to use code GOAT for 10% off. And let's get into the video. So let's start off with this. Is Man City a tin pot fan base? Well, how do you describe tin pot? Is tin pot a fan base that cannot fill out away ends and cannot fill out stadiums? Well, there may be some little fact to it. In terms of the current 20 teams in the Premier League, when it comes to how much their stadium is filled, it is 96.7% for Man City. And out of the 20, that puts them in 14th place. So there you go, that must be some proof that they must be really tin pot. But one tier below, in 15th, is highly regarded as one of the best fan bases in the country in Ellen Road in Leeds United with 96.2%, averaging this year with 53,203, and across the entirety of 2010s having 47,000 until the upgrade of 54,000. But of course, Man City's history is different to the other top 6 clubs because they actually spent time in the lower divisions in their history. So let's look at their tin pot fan base when they were doing very bad, such as the 1st division and the 2nd division, which was also known as, League 1. They ended up being 3rd place and they won in the playoffs to get promoted back to the 2nd tier. What was their average attendance? It was, guess what? 28,273. This was at Main Road that had a capacity of 35,000, filling at the stadium around 80%, which is pretty impressive. And when you look back at their attendances in the years before they even got bought out, before they even got the Abu Dhabi ownership, there wasn't that much of a change either. For example, 04-05, they had 45,000 average attendance at the Etihad, or back then known as the City of Manchester Stadium. 05-06, 42,000. 07-08, 42,000. They got bought out, and guess what their attendance was? 42,000. So the idea Man City as a fan base has always been a tin pot fan base is stupid, because nothing has really shown this. That even when they went down below in divisions, even to the 3rd tier, they still had a very good fan base in 28,000 average attendance. Many of the top 6 fans, and it is largely mainly the top 6 fans that usually has a finger to point at Man City for the fans, and saying that the likes of United or Liverpool would always sell at the stadium. And especially this year, with Arsenal and Man City going for the title, you're seeing a lot more go towards them as well. And the reason why I believe this is that I believe there is not really anything to actually have a go at Man City for. They are so good in so many ways and they are so successful that the only way to actually now try to dumb them down, that's the only way to even compete with them, is by saying that our fan base is better than yours. That is for me what makes the most sense. If you can't beat them on the pitch, you can say that, oh well we have better fans or bigger fans, and that is genuinely how I see it. And the same thing can be said with history too. United and Liverpool saying, oh yeah, but you're good now, but you don't have history. And they are not wrong. Man City, they don't have the history of the likes of Arsenal or United or Liverpool, but they don't don't have a small history, it's not completely relevant. People are acting Abu Dhabi Sheikhs bought out like Rochdale or like Macclesfield Town. Despite being in tier 2 and tier 3 in the late 90s, they spent a large chunk of their entire history in the top flight, getting relegated about 4 or 5 times, but was always in top flight. Before the takeover, they had 2 first divisions, which is, oh no, not the greatest. However, FA Cup's much more acceptable with 4, and a European trophy with the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup, which is essentially the Europa League. Again, not the same as United or Liverpool, but they weren't particularly small, and since then their trophy cabinet has been remarkable, and we already know what it is. Man City has won 15 domestic major trophies, with the Premier League 6 times, FA Cup 2 times, and the League Cup I think 6 times as well. And for the large chunk of that, always going far in the Champions League or going far for the title. And that is where I go back to this tweet, when the FA Cup released this video, and they knew what they were doing when they did this. Showing the celebrations of Man City fans and people saying whether it's Tim Pot, they don't really care. Why aren't they going mad? Why would Man City go mad? They have been to Wembley 21 times since they got took over. 21 times they've been to Wembley. Do you know how insane that is? Now, granted, a few times is also due to the fact that Tottenham Hotspur played there at Wembley for 2-3 years. But that is still a stupid amount of times to go to Wembley. I replied back to this tweet saying, Man City fans have been to Wembley, that's overpriced to F, about 323 times in the last 10 years. And they'll be again next month. This is the equivalent of playing at home to Forest Green. More casuals will come and regulars won't go mad. Quite literally suffering from success. And that's how I see it. I see Man City literally suffering from success. They are so bored of going so far in all these competitions that they don't know actually what to care about anymore. Man City are always going far for the Champions League, again like this year. They're always going far for the title, again like this year. So why would Man City fans care all that much about going to Wembley yet again to play a championship squad in a game that they know that they're going to win? There won't be as much demand for it, therefore more casuals can get the tickets much more easy with general sale, and the regulars that do go won't care all that much because they are literally fighting for a title and a Champions League. Why would they care about beating Sheffield United when they know they're going to beat them anyway? And people that do give stick do also fail to realise how expensive it actually is to not just go Wembley, but to follow your club across the country. Me as a Burnley fan, I followed Burnley for about 5 years until COVID happened, home and away. I think I missed about 5 games a year on average. I went to every single game, travelling on buses, on trains, on coaches, everywhere you could possibly think, and I spent all of my money doing so. I know how much it cost. I know how much it costs to go and watch your club home and away. And even to an extent this year, when Burnley have been so dominant in the league, despite yesterday, but let's forget about that completely, that's when you do go into games almost expecting to win because you are just a better team for the most part. Again, other than yesterday. That I can understand to an extent why Man City fans get this idea that they aren't as insane, they don't have good limbs, they don't really show, they don't have good atmosphere, because when you're playing Fulham at home, Bournemouth at home, even to an extent the likes of Aston Villa at home, you always expect to win, so you're never going to celebrate as if there is really anything on the line here because you just expect it. And people may not like that, but that is just how good Man City are. And again, as I said earlier, they are kind of suffering from success, where football kind of becomes a bit more boring, that they literally don't get excited until about the last 2 months of the year, when there finally is big trophies on the line in the FA Cup, in the Premier League, and of course the Champions League. And there is a reason why I defend Man City fans, because people think that I support them. I don't. I just understand what it's like to actually be a match-going fan. And when you do go home and away, you've got to pick and choose what games to actually go to, because not everyone has unlimited money. And when I see United fans saying, oh, we'll sell it out, and I was like, yeah, of course you would, because you have got a bigger fan base. But that's because you've also got a fan base of people that are much more casual. Man City's core fan base from Manchester is healthy. It is that healthy 45,000. Now it's 52,000, right? Which is a good amount. Basically saying that, how dare you not have more tourists? And then at the same time, to have a go at them for not filling out Wembley because they don't have as many tourist fans. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that they have no fans because they don't fill out Wembley, but also say that they don't fill out their own stadium because they don't have tourist fans. Which way do you want it? You may say, oh, but they're so good for how many years and they're winning everything, they should already have glory hunters, they should already have these fans that support them anyway, and they probably do. But guess what? It takes time as a younger generation. With every single generation, when they get older, just like every generation, so anyone growing up in the 90s or the 1000s, guess who they supported? Probably United, Chelsea or Arsenal. I'll be honest, man, Liverpool was losing their shine a bit until recent years, until they turned good again, and now they are the fan base that we all knew they could be. So the question is, will Man City ever be a big club? And in my opinion, yes, I think one day they will be as big of a club as United or Liverpool. And why? Because how do you be a big club? By success. and they'll get success, and with that they'll get more fans, and with each generation they'll pick up more and more fans across the entire world. And that is how football works. United, Liverpool, Arsenal, they got a big head start, and with decades of success beforehand, they've already got that core fan base. But the beauty about history is that it's in the past, and in the future, in 10, 15, 20 years time, with more success, and eventually will be European success for Man City, they will get more fans and will be just as big of a club as the main three: Arsenal, United, Liverpool. And people may not like that. People may say, oh yeah, but they can never be as big as United. And if you're saying that, you probably are a Man United fan, because they can be in the same way that United has, because that's just how it works. Success breeds fans, and that makes it a big club, right? And the only thing that you need is time. And Man City this year are very likely to go on and do the treble, to win the Prem, FA Cup, and also the Champions League, and it's likely yet again. And can they do it? They very likely can. And people may not like that, and people may not like that, and they may find that very cheese, because they feel like their success is not earned because they had money. But are we going to pretend that all these other big clubs don't also have money? United, for example, who have spent so much money and still haven't got that success in the same way as City. But they may say, oh, but that money is earned because of how big our club is. And you may have somewhat of a point there, but still doesn't mean that you still can't spend the same amount of money as them. And just because you use it incorrectly doesn't mean that it's their problem. Tell me your thoughts down below. I kind of just wanted to talk about it because I just kind of feel like it's petty, because I feel like people just point at City for having like a smaller fan base because they've got nothing else to really have a go at them for, because they are just that good on the pitch and they ran so well when it comes to actually being a well-run football club. And I think people just get desperate at this stage. I've already said it before many times, but guess what? Football is about money, and money is going to be the main beating heart about football, and you cannot change it, you cannot get rid of it. So the way that I see it, I think mostly every big team is just completely come out to the stage, so I don't really think there's any good guys. Do you think United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, do you think these guys are doing things the right way? No, of course they're not. Anyone that's run by a billionaire has done some dodgy stuff to get there in the first place, and that is why the only way to really get into that top 6 is being bought out by a state or being bought out by a massive billionaire, such as, for example, Newcastle. And Newcastle now has hope to actually now be a successful club, and in my opinion, they're doing things the correct way. Even though they've got money, they've not spent it in stupid ways, they've spent it wisely, and not really spent money that other teams can't spend. For example, Nottingham Forest have spent more money than Newcastle in the last year, and guess what? They are in the relegation zone because they spent it in a dumb way. Newcastle got better by spending money on Dan Burn and Kieran Trippier. Have they bought Mbappe? Have they bought out players that can never be there ever? Not really. It's not impossible to think that Bruno Guimaraes or Isaac cannot be there. They're not exactly world beaters, or at least they wasn't before they got there. I'm gonna just move on. This is my kind of rant. I think that people having a go at teams for having smaller fan bases, for the most part, it's just attendance nonsense, and it's just boring at the stage. Focus on your own football club, for God's sake. And yeah, tell me your thoughts down below. Smash a like button. Let's try to hit 3,000 likes, and also subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.